everyone, it's Erica back on the Altenew YouTube channel, and today I thought we would have some fun with this gorgeous Prairie Roses layering die set. So as you can see, I have already die cut and kind of, put some together here. So, I'm pre-prepped a little bit. Yes, and these came out just so beautiful, but I thought I would just go back and show you like how I have done this and what exactly I have used. So I have started out by die cutting the actual flowers out of vanilla cream. So I have cut out more than one, of course, out of every flower. I've also used fresh lemon and maple yellow for like the stamens in the middle. And I've done most of them in like 2 colors here so that I can, layer them up so that you get those 2 different shades just to kind of, bring in some interest and some depth to it. So super easy to do. And it doesn't really matter which one is the lighter or the darker. Now, frayed leaf was like perfect for that like little middle bit there. So that is gonna look super, super cute. And if you need to add like a little color, I have added just a little bit of whatever was left on my ink blending tool with Firefly, just so that you get a slightly different shade of green on those stamen bits. For the actual leaves and stems, I've used Paris and Forest Glade, and these are such great shades of green, both for ink and in cardstock. So I have done the big piece out of Forest Glade, and obviously all of the little leaves and things like that. And then I have also done the smaller bits, like everything except for the big branching in Parrot. But we're going to put all of these aside, and we're going to get a few little inkies out, and we're also going to get a grippy mat out, and we're going to very kind of gently add a little bit of color to these. But obviously today, because we're adding some texture and dimension, we're going to be adding or using some instant dimension foam tape as well. Now I'm going to put my ready-made flowers away, but look at this, how cute is that? So cute, adorable. But we're going to take flower number 1. I don't know if this is flower number 1, but the flower with the same keyhole symbol. And we are going to take a little bit of pink and luscious. And we are also going to have just a smidge of citrus burst. So the cardstock is obviously like this sort of creamy yellow beigey. So if you want a little bit more of like a yellow pop, just go very, very gently over with a yellow on top of here. So because the paper already has like a yellow hue, you really don't need a lot for it just to kind of stand out. And that tiny bit just makes such a difference. And it will help with those like contrast and the low lights to like really bring your pieces to life. So if you don't want to do any of this, obviously just die cut out of color cardstock and just go to town. It is so much fun. Now for the ink, because this one is slightly darker, so this is the second lightest actually out of the 4 in the color family. What we're going to do is we're going to not hold our brush flat. We're going to slightly angle it, and so that you're not getting all of the bristles onto the piece right away. And this will just help to kind of assure that you have a little bit more control over what ink actually goes on there. And you're going to want to go slow and steady. This is all in real time, so none of this is sped up now. So this is how long it takes. But if you want now more of that, so we want to go in first, with a light touch, and then we're going to go in with a little bit lighter, a little bit more ink, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to angle our brush, and we're going to go slow and steady. We're going to build up the color. And this is the best way to assure that you don't get any of those like blotches or marks on your die cut pieces. And doesn't that just make such a difference? Now I'm going to finish off the rest of the pieces here. Quickly. Yes, I may have skipped that part. And now we're going to take all of these and we are going to glue them together. And we're going to do just the one so that you can see just how quick and easy this actually is. And again, this is all in real time. None of this is sped up now, so we will speed up things a little bit as we go along. But on the back of the packaging, it will tell you which piece goes first and in which order. Now, sometimes I will say that it doesn't matter so much. Like on these round ones, no, it doesn't really matter that much, to be honest, because we're also going to cover up the the middle with our like stamens and our other little bits and pieces. So if for whatever reason you don't get them in the order that's on the back of the packaging, as long as you have all of the bits and pieces with the same keyhole symbol, you will be fine. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. No, I promise. So here we have got the one with the arrow. So we're just going to line them up so that every single piece has got the arrow pointing in the same direction. So I want to say this is north, but I don't think it's north. But you know what I mean. So we're going to just here again add a little bit of glue on the back, and then we're going to find the keyhole symbol, and we're just going to gently press this down. So again here, all of this is complete real time. None of it is sped up, and this is how easy this is. And there we go. We have a flower made already. I mean, yes, okay, so the petals. We have the petals put together already. But this is essentially it. This is all you have to do. This is such a genius hack when it comes to these layering die cuts. But now I have cut out some of the other gluing, and we're going to make a couple of backgrounds, because I realized that I am never going to fit all of these flowers in on one single card. Unless I made it like a 10 by 10 inch card. But we're not going to do that. No. But we are going to do something slightly different and super fun and so easy. So apart from a scoreboard, which most of us have a scoreboard in our craft rooms, and if you don't, I would highly recommend that you get one, because it is such a useful tool, not just for scoring like your card bases and, you know, getting them all ready, but for creating fun and super easy texture without any, like, you don't need any cover plates, you don't need any like fancy pens or anything like that. You literally just need your scoreboard and a bone folder, and that is it. So I'm going to make marks for every kind of 1/2 inch mark here, and I'm just going to draw lines, and that is it. But you will see just how, like, what a difference it makes. You know, you kind of look at it and you say, what? It's just lines. But it's not just lines. It is lines. Yeah, you see? It's like there's a difference between lines and lines. Okay? And this is a super, super easy way of adding some fun, interest, and texture to your background. Now, if, like me, you're not great with white space, this is a super easy way of kind of adding a little bit of interest and, you know, getting rid of that feeling of, oh, it's so white, it's so naked. This helps. It really, really does. So there we go. One background, completely done. Now, I want to make another one, and I want to do something a little bit different. And here I'm going to be using some of my I'm obsessed with this stuff, my beloved Shimmer Relief Paste in Enchanted Gold. Yes, that was me clapping. I am so excited about this. I love this stuff. It's so beautiful. It's so shimmery. It's so luxurious. And it's honestly so much fun to play with. So I'm going to pop a little bit down here at the top. Like, you know, this part doesn't have to be particularly, you know, exact or anything like that. And then we're going to take a scraper, and we're just going to drag this down our cardstock so that we get it really nice and flat. And then we're going to put the rest of our paste back into our pot. We are going to leave that panel to dry. It needs to be very dry because we're going to cut this up. So you don't want to get that paste on like all of your stuff. But I mean, look at that. Look at the shimmer. Whew. Okay, focus. So we're going to put that aside, and that's going to dry. And I'm going to crack on with just, you know, deciding which bits and pieces are going to go onto this white card base first. So I decided to use the front of the packaging as sort of inspiration, like where all of my bits and pieces were going to go. And the reason I do this is sometimes just to kind of, I guess, play by the rules, so that I can kind of see like what was the kind of the inspiration behind this product. And then I tend to, you know, put my own little spin on things, because, you know, that's what creativity is about, right? You see something, you like it, and then you want to make it your own. So that's what I do. Now, I will say that there was a lot of instant dimension foam tape involved in the process of adding these flowers to the actual card. Now, the greenery in the back has been glued down flat, and then I have popped up the flowers themselves. The big one in the front actually got 2 pieces added to the back of it, so that it will be really, really like 3D and standing out. So yes, but this is where you can, like, you know, play around with your design and, you know, see what you like. And obviously, if you want to keep the card reasonably flat, which is way better if you are going to send it in the mail, just glue them down flat, you know, and keep the ones with instant dimension foam tape for the ones that you can actually hand in, like, in person, or send in a parcel with, you know, some goodies or whatever. But yeah, so that first card almost done. We are going to head back to our gorgeous Shimmer Relief Paste background. And what we're going to do is we're going to trim this into pieces. Now, I know, this is like, whoa, what are you doing, woman? But just trust the process. We are going to chop this into 1/2 inch wide strips. And we're just going to chop, 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 until the whole panel is cut up. And then we're going to take the 2 top, or the top and the bottom piece, we're going to take them out because they just don't have enough gold and shimmer on them. And we're going to then split this number in half, and we're going to add instant dimension foam tape to half of them. The other half, I'll say you want to keep them flat, but again, this is a design choice, whether you might want to, you know, raise all of them up. I don't know. You do you. But I decided to start with a instant dimension foam tape one, and then I'm going to alternate them with a raised and a flat, and a raised and a flat, and a raised and a flat. And I ended up with, how many did I end up with? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 pieces, because I did want a little bit of white space in between, like, each of one of these as well. It's almost kind of like, think like a trellis, like a garden trellis. That was kind of the look I was going for. Now, I will say that it's a little bit nerve-wracking to just kind of stick these down without having any kind of control, really. Oh, I say control, you know. I didn't want to kind of overthink this too much, so I really just used, like, my grid mat and, you know, eye control. And I just popped these down, and then I started with the ones with instant dimension foam tape, and then I glued the flat ones down after, just to kind of, you know, hopefully be able to kind of even out any weird, you know, spaces or whatever. But as soon as that was done, it was time to get actually cracking with adding the flowers. And this is probably the most fun part of all of the card making, I think. So here, I know a lot of people actually say to me that, oh, you know, the placement of things is, you know, where I really struggle. And all I want to say to those of you who have that problem, that put that pressure on yourself, is that just play around. Like, you know, just because you put something down onto a card, unless you glue it down and it sticks, you know, but don't do that. You know, you don't have to commit to whatever you have, you know, put down. Try something out, you know, put some flowers down, put your sentiments down, take a picture of that, and then try something else, and then compare. How do you like the two? What do you like? Do you maybe like a little something from the first one? Do you like a little something from the second one? And maybe the perfect kind of card for you is somewhere in between. So don't feel like you have to put that pressure on yourself for getting it perfect the first time, because that's not really like cohesive to, or like conducive to, like happy card making. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a great time while doing this. It's supposed to be stress relief, not adding to your stress. So make sure that you have fun with this, and, you know, just play around and forget about like the perfectionism, because we're making handmade cards. We're not making perfect cards. And once you've taken all the pressure off yourself and you have finished putting your cards together, it's time for sentiment. So, you know, here I have decided to go for 2 very kind of simple ones, just, you know, like friendship, encouragement ones, because, you know, I have so many lovely friends who are really helping me right now. I'm having a bit of a tough time emotionally, and I'm going through some stuff, and I have so many amazing friends who are just reaching out and making me feel less alone. So these cards are for them. And one of these sentiments actually says, surround yourself with people who feel like sunshine. And that is such a good one. And I like that there are so many great sentiments to choose from Altenew. There's just, you know, you're never gonna kind of run out of good sentiments to put on your cards. And oh my goodness, I'm getting soppy now. Right, it's time to wrap this up before I start bawling. Okay, so these are the 2 cards finished. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is me done for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me which card you like the best. I don't think it's any surprise if you know me that I like this one better because of all the texture and the layers and all the gold and stuff, because the other one is just, it's still a little bit too white for me. I don't do good with white space. But anyway, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon again. Bye for now.
Hello there. Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.